Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. I just wanted to kind of say Happy New Year to everybody and close out the year with some thoughts here. And I'm really looking forward to 2018. Going into the new year, I have a lot of projects and ideas and things to share with you guys. And so really I just wanted to kind of sum up where I think, things are now and where I see kind of the positive things happening. So just there's been a lot of talk, I think, this year about, fake news and, how much information is out there and what can be trusted and what can't be. And I think one of the things that I wanted to stress is that we live in a time when, ultimately you have so much information at your disposal. You can just get to so many different things almost instantly. You can connect with people across the world at the push of a button. And there's just so much stuff out there that it's an incredible time to be alive. Education and knowledge is really out there for everybody to enjoy and the benefits of and learn. And you no longer need to be really privileged to go to school and study and things like that. You can just learn so much from people all around the world. And I think it's an incredible time to be alive, really. But with that said, of course, there's a lot of bad things going on in the world. And there's kind of a lot of things where people are just, I think, in information overload kind of status where you just don't even know what to believe anymore because there's so much stuff out there that you simply cannot even trust what you're seeing is true or not. And, one of the things that I really just wanted to talk about very briefly is the idea of veganism and what most people are exposed to when they think of that, if you're not vegan already, is that it's a very extreme diet and it's just a really difficult thing to do. And in my experience now, being vegan for over 2 years, it's the farthest thing from the truth. It's actually quite easy. It's quite simple. It's very cheap. Pretty much almost the exact opposite of what most people will fearmonger and tell you about it. And really, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. That go out and look at the information. You can use your own common sense when you're reading these things. It's a bit like politics and anything else where there's money involved. You have to kind of like look at what people's intentions are and what they stand to gain from them being right or telling the truth. And for example, in politics, I always say, vote with your wallet, because that's ultimately the only vote that's going to get you any change. Politicians are always out for the number one. They're always out for themselves. And this is the thing that I think most people lose sight of. They think that their party, their candidate, whatever, is going to be different. But they don't realize that one candidate, one party lies on this end of the spectrum, the other candidate and the other party lies on this end of the spectrum, and meanwhile they're both picking your pockets and robbing you blind and just leaving you with no real choice. But you're convinced, as I was for many years, that that it matters which side you're voting on. Sadly it doesn't, but that's neither here nor there. The thing that I want to say is that if you follow the money trail and you follow with common sense where the answer brings you, that's going to be the truth. And with something like your health and with the vegan diet that I promote, which is like a whole food, plant-based, so like mostly unrefined healthy fruits and vegetables, I think the changes are so drastic and so immediate in your health that you just can't help but notice almost right away, within the span of a couple weeks, sometimes maybe a couple months, how much better off you are and how much better you feel. In my experience, I did a lot of studying, I did a lot of reading. There is a ton of information out there, and like a lot of people like to point out, if you have one article that tells you this, if you have another scientific article that tells you that, how do you know which one's right? Well, some of it is you can kind of get to the answer by consensus. If you read 100 articles that tell you this and you read 2 articles that tell you that, you might put some more weight on what you're reading here. And specifically with things like cholesterol and saturated fat denial and things like this, that impacts your heart health. There's an overwhelming body of evidence that suggests that eating low saturated fat and no cholesterol diet, i.e. a whole food plant-based diet, is good for your heart health, and eating diet predominated by animal products is bad for your heart health. But again, look at the studies, look at the number of studies, look at the funding behind the studies. If you start reading into this kind of thing, I guarantee you your common sense will point you in the right direction. That's one thing. But again, don't take my word for it. Don't take the anecdotes that you hear. Don't look at my grandpa ate bacon and he smoked every day and he lived to 95 stories. That doesn't really tell you much of anything. But what I can tell you is, try it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't believe me. I've posted videos how my eyesight improved, my blood circulation to a certain appendage improved, my cholesterol got cut in half. I feel better. I recover faster. I could go on and on. The list is incredible. I feel great. But again, don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. What I want to do is to encourage everybody to go out and try it for yourself. The things that are out there that will, people are afraid of, like, you're not going to get enough protein, you're not going to have enough energy, etc., etc. These things are just completely nonsense. You will realize this so quickly. If you're eating enough calories, you're getting enough protein. If you're eating a varied diet centered around whole plant foods, and eating lots of greens and veggies and everything like that, and good grains and starches and potatoes and things like that, you will feel great. You will be healthy, and you will see dramatic improvements to your health. Even if you think that you're healthy already. I think I was. I thought I was. I didn't have any complaints or problems to start with. So I just say, don't take people's word for it. Go out, try it for yourself. You're going to see an improvement. I'm convinced of that. And I think just really that's all I really wanted to say is you don't have to take anybody's word for it. It's like the LeVar Burton, I think he used to be the guy at the Reading Rainbow when we were kids. We used to watch that show, and he would always say, this was an exciting book, and he would say, but don't take my word for it. So I would say, don't take my word for it. Go out, try it for yourself. Veganuary is coming up. That's like a thing that a lot of people sign up for the month of January to try being vegan. It's right here. There's your opportunity. There's tons of support groups. There is the 22-day challenge, I think it's called, or challenge 21 or 22 or whatever it is. I'll put the link in the description, and to Veganuary as well. There's tons of people out there willing to help you, give you tips, tricks. You can look at all the recipes on my channel, many other people. There's tons of great cooking channels. You can search for vegan recipes of every favorite food you might ever think of. There's probably 10 versions of it online right now. Like I said, there's just so much information out there. Have fun, try it out. You won't regret it. I really think if people gave it a shot for a month, you'd see how easy it is, how great you feel, how cheap it is. And if you've done that and you get to the end of the month, then I implore you to just look and feel with your heart. If you did a month and you feel good and you feel like you have good energy, and you haven't withered away and shrunken away to the the size of a blade of grass, then you have to question, do I really need to keep eating animal products? If I can be happy and healthy without them, why are we doing this to sentient animals, sentient beings who can feel and exhibit all the signs of emotion and compassion that we have? They can empathize with each other. They have social structures. They have family bonds. Why are we, doing this to them? So, I think if anybody, listens to me, I would say, don't take my word for it. Do some reading on your own. Go watch some really good documentaries. I've mentioned a few in previous videos. But I think if you want to look at the health aspect, I would recommend Forks Over Knives. I think a lot of people obviously, have recommended the movie Earthlings. I think that's an incredibly powerful movie. You will probably bawl your eyes out. I couldn't even watch that movie the whole way through. It's just so intense. But I'm going to put links to these movies, in the description. I would encourage you to at least check them out. It'll really give you a new perspective, and with a new year, you get a new opportunity to make yourself a better person. And I think this year I just recommend that everybody, for your New Year's resolution, just try to open your perspective, open your mind, and take a look at some of these things. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Really appreciate everybody signing up. Have had a huge jump in my subscriptions, so I'm really appreciative of that. Have a lot of things to look forward to. I'm going to have lots of more videos about gardening and planting, and really looking forward to just doing a ton of stuff in the garden this year and growing more of my own food and sharing that with you and sharing my recipes and cooking tips and stuff like that. So I hope you guys like this. And to close, I'm going to be going outside pretty soon and filming some fireworks for you, hopefully. And hopefully I get some decent footage. I'll include that at the end. So yeah, I just wish everybody a happy new year. Be healthy, be conscientious, and yeah, blessed and safe and happy new year for everybody. Bye.